Hey guys, welcome. Come on in. This video is for teachers who are teaching primary grades that can be either teaching virtually or face-to-face. This video is for you. We are going to be talking about 5 ways to use Toothy in a virtual setting or a face-to-face setting. My name is Angie Olson, and I am the owner of Lucky Little Learners, where we help primary teachers love what they do so that their students love what they do, which then leads to mastery. So we are here, like I said, to talk about the different ways to use that you are teaching in. So once we get started here, I actually want to ask the question, what setting are you teaching in? Are you teaching virtually or are you teaching face-to-face in the classroom? I would love to know that by having you type that into the comments and let me know. We're getting a phone call right now as we go live because of course that's what happens when when we go live. Let me decline that so we can keep going. The joys of live video. Okay, so like I said, let me know which setting you're teaching in. Today, as I'm doing this video, it is the end of March 2021. Here in Minnesota, we got snow, go figure. But more importantly, we know that we are in the middle of a crazy time of teaching. And so it is going to be important for me to share with you kind of how this can be done. In fact, when I posted on Instagram this morning, I asked the question, what kinds of things are you needing when it comes to Toothy? And the overwhelming feedback was, how do I do this no matter what setting I'm teaching in? So we're gonna jump right into it. So let's actually start right off the bat with those that are teaching virtually. Go ahead and raise your hand. Tell me in the comments if you are virtual. Bless you. It's tough, and I know I know it's tough. My own daughter is a 4th grader this year, and we have been in the classroom, out of the classroom, and I see the struggles for both kids and students, or kids and teachers. So we're going to talk about how Toothy can be used virtually. So for those that are teaching virtually, Toothy is definitely an option for those that are using the platform Zoom or Google Meet. I know a lot of teachers are streaming these lessons to their students. Let me tell you how you can use specifically Toothy. So some teachers choose to connect their document cameras or make a document camera out of their phone and project it onto the Zoom screen or the Google Meet screen. For teachers that are doing that, what they can do is they can take a printable Toothy card, set it underneath there, and then the kids can take just a plain piece of paper if they don't have a marker board, and they can put the answer to the card on the paper or the marker board. And then what the teacher is going to do, and this is one of my favorite things to do in the classroom too, is you tell the kids, don't show your answer, cover the answer up, put it upside down on their table. But then when you hear me say 1, 2, 3, show me, you're going to flip the answer up to the camera and you're going to show all your friends in class what your answer is. And then at that point, you would say, correct answers get a tooth in Toothy's mouth. Another way to do this, if you don't have that document camera set up, is you can just show on the screen as if I'm talking to you right now on Zoom or Google Meet. You can take the card itself and show the card to the screen. Again, solving it, 1, 2, 3, show me. Another way to do that on Zoom or Google Meet is you can show the digital version of the file, and same process, have them solve on a marker board or a white piece of paper, and 1, 2, 3, show me. I've heard teachers say they've used the chat function as well, and I know that can work as well pretty effectively. So that's one idea. Another idea to use Toothy from a virtual setting is just to simply assign that digital version and have them do that independently. So this is not going to be on a Zoom call or a Google Meet call. This is going to be something that they get assigned. Now, of course, the caveat here is that you're in a district that provides the devices, because I know that some districts don't provide the devices, and if that's your district, obviously this is not going to be an option, or maybe it's just an optional option for those parents that are asking for more content for their kids, but they have to use their own device. So what that would look like is we have our digital versions of all math, science, phonics, grammar, reading, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade. These sets can be assigned to your students via Google Classroom or via Seesaw. Canvas, Schoology, or even just sending the direct link. Sometimes that's just as easy if your kids have their own email account. The link can be sent to them. We have multiple versions of the digital copies of Toothy so that they can work on any platform. And that is actually one of the things that we take a lot of pride in, is that Toothy is one of those things that can be used anywhere, on any device, doesn't matter. So Dana says, first year teacher and just introduced my third graders to Toothy this week. They love it. And I love that, Dana. Thank you for sharing. Let's jump over into those that are teaching face-to-face. I would love to know how many here watching live or on the replay are back in person. Like I said, the time of this video is March of 2021. Very curious to see how many of you are face-to-face in the classroom. Of course, I will kind of give a little disclaimer. I've got 3 different ideas here for Toothy face-to-face safely. But here's what I want to say. Every school district is different, and I get that everybody's safety guidelines are different. So please take these suggestions with that in mind. If your district would not allow for some of these, then just, yes, not every district has different levels of strictness when it comes to the safety guidelines. But let's jump into the first idea. So this idea, it can be used in classrooms pretty safely, I would say. So what they do is they take the Toothy cards and they hang them on the wall around the outside perimeter of the classroom. Now, if you were to do something like this, your students would get a clipboard and it would have the recording sheet on it. At that time, you would assign a student to each card spaced out around the outside of the classroom. To do this in a safer manner, there's 2 things. Number 1, they're going to rotate as a whole, and that's going to be under your guidance. So you're going to, the kids are going to be at a problem, they solve it, they give a thumbs up, or they raise their hand when they've got it completed. And once all the kids have solved, then you rotate. And you rotate and you rotate. So they maintain their social distancing while being able to kind of get up and move around in a safe manner. Now, that said, the other thing to keep in mind here is that typically when kids are solving Toothy cards, they would solve and then they'd flip it over to get the answer. And it, again, depending on your safety guidelines, I would say that you can skip the part where they have to touch the card to flip it because it's taped to the wall. And then what they're going to do is they're going to have their answer on the recording sheet. After they get done solving all the problems, they're going to go back to their desk, and then you're going to go through the answers whole group. And then for every correct answer is a tooth in Toothy's mouth. They'll have that Toothy mat right there on their desk. So this is also a really great option that can be pretty safely done. If you've tried any of these ideas, I would love to hear it in the comment section. I am able to see comments this time. Not always do I see them, so that's kind of nice to be able to see them this time. Another idea for face-to-face is simply to take that digital version and to assign it independently to your students. So therefore, they are maintaining their social distancing at their desk spot or at their table spot. Now, this picture wasn't necessarily taken during the pandemic. I should preface that. But they are able to get their digital version assigned to them, and they can maintain that space. And the other thing is they can work at their own pace. So they can work independently, and they still get that instant feedback to know if they got the answer correct or incorrect. And then the tooth on the digital version, of course, flies right into Toothy's mouth, which is always fun for the kids. So that is the second face-to-face option there. And then the last face-to-face option when it comes to using Toothy in a safe way with social distancing practices would be to project the cards whole group up on your smartboard, up on your Promethean board, or even if you don't have that, some teachers say, oh, my smartboard, they are out of date, they don't work, they're glitchy. Use it as just a white surface to project these up on the board. So even if it's just a plain drop-down screen or you're using your marker board as a white surface to project. So how this would work then is the teacher would pop up a problem, a skill that you are having the kids practice. The kids are going to stay at their desk or their table spot. They're going to answer the questions or the question that is up on the board. from their table spot on a marker board or maybe just a sheet of paper. Again, you're going to have the same thing. Cover up your answer. Don't let your neighbors see it. Are you ready? Thumbs up when you're ready. Everybody's ready. 1, 2, 3, show me. The kids get to hold them up. They're so excited. And then correct tooth goes in. Correct answers have a tooth for Toothy's mouth that they get to put in their mouths right at their table spot. So you don't have to have kids move around. Now, again, some schools are allowing a little bit more movement than others. And so for this picture in particular, you can see that the teacher did call a student up to the front to work with the digital version, tap that answer, and then the tooth will digitally fly in, but then the kids still get to interact with that by putting a tooth in Toothy's mouth from their paper version. So again, really great option for using Toothy face-to-face. So I hope that those 5 ideas bring you some little light bulb moments, some little golden nuggets on how to use Toothy. It doesn't matter what setting you are in. I would love to hear what you thought of those, if there's any that you plan to take away in your classroom, or maybe even ones that you've already tried before and loved, and I'd love to hear about that too. If you would like to continue the conversation, the Lucky Second Grade Teachers Facebook group is a wonderful place where second grade teachers, and I'm not going to lie, first and third grade teachers too, will come in, and we have great conversations, great collaboration opportunities. It's a wonderful place for teachers just to come in and ask questions or get advice on something, or maybe you need an idea on how to address a certain standard. And teachers in there are wonderful because it's a place where everybody wants to help and give feedback and support one another, cheer each other on. So I encourage you to take a look for Lucky Second Grade Teachers. And again, if you are a first or third grade teacher, you can feel free to join us in there too. We will welcome you with open arms. So thank you for being here, and I will be hanging around the chat just to make sure if you have any questions that you didn't think of while we were on live, I will be around to answer them, and I hope to connect with you soon.